Hello, hello, welcome back to more GBO2. Today we are actually going to be continuing on with our Easter themed sets. Look at that lovely Easter eggshell look to my shoulder pauldrons here. Beautiful. Easter is not over until I say Easter is over. But anyway, we've got the Qubeley Mark II. I believe I have the Mark II here. Should be the Mark II. We will know when I pull out the weird triple-bladed beam saber, one of the weirdest looking weapons I have seen in the entirety of Gundam, but it does a lot of damage here, so that's always a lot of fun. Qubeley Mark II. The Qubeleys in general I do really like, though I like the 1 a lot less ever since they nerfed it, because the nerf, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, but the nerf they did to it specifically made it harder for me to use it because a lot of the tactics that I used got explicitly targeted by the nerf. So I can't play the thing how I used to play it. I can't play it how I want to play it. But the Mark II here doesn't have those nerfs to it. So basically just the follow funnels, the amount of stun they did was reduced. And what I used to do is I used to use the follow funnels in order to set up stuns so that I could move in and do melee combos. I can't do that on the 1 anymore, but I can still do that on the Mark II because this one did not have the funnels, the stun rather, on those follow funnels reduced like that. Oh, and this is an ace match too, I forgot to mention that. That being said, the Mark 1, or the basic Qubeley, I don't know if technically I should be calling it... Mark 1 is not in the name, but by this being the Mark II, that would make it the Mark 1, I guess. Anyways, regardless. The ranged damage, of course, is not as high on the Mark II because it is a melee raid. So, which means it suits my playstyle more. I just use this one now instead of the 1. You never see them out anymore, though, because ever since they nerfed it, the thing doesn't really keep pace with the other things that have been added since, which was the big thing I kept saying back when it came out, was the Qubeley is not overpowered. The Qubeley is one of 2 mobile suits in its points range. The Qubeley existed in a transitionary period where we were putting in new suits with new capabilities. It was the beginning of them adding, like, the high-level Zeta era stuff. So we just had, I think it was the, I want to say the full armor, the double Zeta. It was the double Zeta was out. Yes, the double Zeta got added, and then the Qubeley got added, and they were the only things that came in at, I want to say it was 650 is where this first comes in, and that was it. You didn't have anything else. So, yeah, of course it was one of the strongest things at the time, but once we started getting more stuff in the 650 range, a lot of that stuff was actually pretty comparable in capabilities. Mind you, the Qubeley is still fantastic, and actually one of the things that makes it so good, you don't see enough from me, and that's its downswing. It has a downswing that has the speed of a neutral. So you'll just come in and bop, you knock things over real quick instead of having the big wind-ups that you'll usually have. I don't use it too much just because, like, if I get my stun set up, I like to actually do more comboing than just knocking them down and letting them get right back up, since they have the iframes and whatnot when they come back up. But, you know, it is a really good downswing, especially in, like, a pinch. You can whip it out faster than a lot of people anticipate it being deployed. It's very cool, but I also tend to get tackled a lot when I try to just move in and do a bunch of melee stuff, so that's part of why you don't see it that much. Of course, I also have to get in on people too, which in some of these situations is going to be a little bit tricky. But this is my preferred thing, which this is pretty atypical for combos. I should have done one more swing there. I think I thought it was going to take him down with just the 1, but clearly it didn't. Still managed to get the kill, so that's alright. Pulled back so that we didn't get too... Pulled back so we didn't get too pushed out, but, like, as you can see, there's not really anything else out here anyway. I probably should have just advanced, used the follow funnels, moved in, got stunned, got my hits in. Now we got to figure out how to move on this guy without getting, like, shredded in the process. We're going to start by trying to... Okay, so we did go ahead, lock on, sent the funnels out. I'm pretty sure that normally would have stunned, but we do have maneuver armor on this suit, I'm pretty sure anyway. So that helped us get through that. Trying to set up stuns, but an ally already set up the stuns. Just doing our melee damage where we can. That triple beam saber does really good damage too. It's the higher damage of my melee options. I'm standing back so as not to interfere with his melee. As much as I have a lot of great melee capability, I'm not trying to stun allies here. So damage was dealt, kill was gotten. We still are... There we go. I was gonna say, we haven't quite gotten aces selected yet. My heart dropped though, let me tell you. As soon as my name popped up as ace, I don't like being ace. It's a lot of pressure I don't want to deal with. Mind you, it can... I was about to say it can be beneficial when I'm playing in something like this where I want to be hyper-aggressive with, but unfortunately the reality is, with the entire enemy team trying to target me because I'm the ace, it's actually really hard to effectively use something this aggressive. Because everyone's blocking your movement, everybody's going to be pushing down on you. Thankfully, I got the enemy ace, so we at least don't have them scoring double now. Or, I think it was triple points, actually. It's been a while since I played ace. I want my allies to back off here, because you can see he's doing melee stuff, and that's not ideal. I couldn't get swings in. I could have taken him down if I wasn't being stunned like that the whole time, so that's a little bit frustrating. I should have been focusing on the guy creeping up behind me instead, because I can deal with one guy. I can easily deal with one guy. That's not an issue. It's everybody else. Thankfully, we are still in the lead. Unfortunately, their ace is back on the field. We're both on the field now, so that's, better than nothing, but I gotta do something. Not a lot of our enemies, if any, looks like, at least the ones I can see, aren't. Yeah, that was an unsurprising tackle on his part. That was pretty over-telegraphed on my part. Thankfully, though, he just burned his tackle, so I caught him. That's awesome. Oh, that's not a kill, though. That's not good. That's very not good. Now, if I can... Good, we've gotten him taken down. If I can now turn around and then get a kill off on him, I'm trying to lock with the funnels, but that's why it wasn't locking. Now I remember being frustrated there. It's because I locked onto the wrong thing. So, unfortunately, I am not in a great position here. I'm not sure why I managed to catch him. I would have expected him to tackle there, but we caught him, got our score, so that's good. There's still that one guy that managed to get away from me, which is a little bit frustrating. I think I got a stun on that guy, so hopefully that got him off my ally, but unfortunately, since I got taken down, I couldn't quite tell. I'm a little bit annoyed we couldn't chase down that. You saw that one guy was down to like one hit earlier, but we weren't able to pursue. He got away from me. Now, unfortunately, we are just barely down. We've got... by the time I get back in, there's going to be less than 10 seconds on the board. We are down, so if I can manage to score anything, I got very lucky here. You see, that's the enemy's support. Was already low, hit the ground, could immediately get to him, and I believe that kill is actually what's going to put us right over that threshold and manage to give us that win. One of the most ridiculously close matches I've ever played. I got lucky. The only reason we managed to win that one is because Okay, actually, to be fair, I think if... That is a really close score, though. Did I manage to get that kill? I'm pretty sure I managed to actually score that kill. I might have to look at that again and make sure that wasn't just an assist. Yeah, that was crazy close. That last-minute kill definitely is what put us over the edge, regardless of who scored it. Man, it was really cool, though, to see the scores that close at the end. I wish I could have been a little bit more effective. That's why I don't really like Ace, that's why I don't like being Ace. Ace match is super cool, but it can be really tricky sometimes to play as aggressively as I like to when you've got a big old target over your head that says, hey, kill this one, because they're a bigger threat and are worth more to take down. But yeah, that'll do it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.